quick overview of the company. It's had a rapid growth over the last, say, 18 months. We currently sit around 130 to 160 million market cap, and just finished or in the process of completing a $15 million raise, which puts about $32 million in the bank, which is going to fund the next 12 months of development that I'll go through over this presentation. As Keith pointed out, the timing was important for us as we were building this company, I guess late 2015, early 2016. Firm believers in the lithium space, and that the lithium-ion battery is the battery of choice, and it's going to be around for the next 20 to 30 years. And there's going to be a significant increase or sustained increase in demand as we adopt more electric vehicles, more cell phones, et cetera, going forward. The next step was to build the asset base. We focused on lithium brines in Argentina, which, as Gene pointed out, is now open for business and a great place to at least for the next 3 to 4 years, to develop new companies and new assets. And in the brine space, we focus on the brine space because we believe those are the low-cost entrants. And as I go through the presentation, hope to explain also how it gives us a little bit more flexibility in supplying the battery markets. And the next step, once we put those two together, was building the team. And we'll go through it on the next slide. You can see it's a pretty impressive group of people. I guess driving the bus are Paul and Eduardo. Paul Matizik is probably a name you're all very familiar with. And that whole bottom row at the bottom are all his companies that he's founded, built, and then sold. I guess if you add it all up, you're over $2 billion. The last two of them being in Argentina. Done it before in our country. The other person is Eduardo Morales. Eduardo Morales was the person that essentially built the Atacama lithium brine mine from scratch to what it is today, and culminated in the eventual sale of Rockwood Lithium to Albemarle for about $6.2 billion. That's a 20 to 25,000 ton per year lithium carbonate producer. He started there with Corfo as part of the Chilean government, and then built the ponds, the carbonate plant, and ended up as the president of Rockwood Lithium Chile for the last, I think, 12 years of his career there. This is basically the timing. I won't spend a lot of time on this slide. There's not a lot of time in the presentation, but just to reiterate the point, as you can see, the amount of lithium that goes in these different batteries, and as we sort of go from smartphones to laptops to hybrid cars to all electric like the Teslas, there's a huge amount of lithium that is going into these battery packs, and we believe that'll be the main driver for demand going forward. And it's already been reflected in the lithium carbonate prices that over the last 2 years have gone from $5,000 a ton to over $12,000, $15,000 on contract basis. These are our assets. First asset in the company was Clayton Valley, which is the only lithium brine deposit in North America, in the US. It's been producing since the 1960s, and we have one of the largest land positions in the basin surrounding the existing production facility. That is more of an exploration asset for us, a brownfields exploration asset. Our flagship asset is Sal de Los Angeles, which currently has around a 2 million ton resource, 1 million in measured and indicated, and 1 million in inferred, which makes it a world-class asset if you put a sort of 20 to 40,000 ton per year production on that. And this is the one we'll focus most of the presentation on. Our latest acquisition is Salar de Arizaro, which is a large land position in an unexplored basin that we hope to explore over 2017 and 18. This is a quick snapshot of what the space looks like. That's us in Diablillos is the actual name of the basin. Sal de Los Angeles is the project name. And we are right beside FMC's current producing mine that has about 18,000 to 20,000 tons coming out of there a year. And Galaxy's development project that just came past the feasibility stage and was able to raise $60 million, I guess, last month to develop that further. Those three projects share a similar brine characteristic, and have a similar development path, if you wish. And then the next set of assets are further to the north in northern Salta and Jujuy, where you have Orocobre as sort of the forefront, just reaching commercial production, and Lithium Americas with their joint venture with SQM, a 50-50 joint venture that also in feasibility stage. Those would be the more advanced assets in Argentina at this time. This is what ours look like. Just to focus on the image there, that the 1 million tons in measured and indicated is in the north of the basin. The red that you see there is obviously where we're going to be focusing our feasibility and our reserve base on there. We're hoping to get also somewhere around 800,000 to 1.2 million tons of lithium carbonate equivalent in reserve at around a 600 milligrams per liter lithium grade. We're currently exploring further to the north, where you see that yellow drop-off. We're drilling we've done the seismic in their area, and we'll commence drilling in the next month, and hopefully increase our resource base as well. What I'd like to sort of point out here is once you're sort of in the 1 million to 1.5 million, 2 million ton of lithium carbonate equivalent, you're already in those world-class asset base. 20,000 tons for 20 years, I mean, or 40 years. You can produce pretty much as you want. 170,000 tons is right now the total world's production of lithium carbonate. So you'd be a significant player for a few decades. This is part of our development plan here. What we're planning to do is stage the development. In an evaporation-based conventional facility, you pump, you fill your evaporation ponds, you evaporate till you concentrate lithium to a certain level and drop out unwanted salts. Then you move that brine to a lithium carbonate plant, which hopefully will produce a 99.5 and above battery grade lithium carbonate. We're going to do the first step first and produce a 5% lithium concentrate that we plan to sell to existing carbonate manufacturers, either in China, in Argentina, or in Chile. What this does is it allows us to only incur about half of the capex up front, but retain a lot of the economics, because you get paid almost at technical grade basis for your contained lithium by supplying the brine. It's basically like doing a conventional mining operation, which you reach, a nickel con or a copper con, and then sell it to existing facilities. We want to employ the same development, and this is already permitted. We've started construction last week, pretty much, and this is designed to produce 2,500 tons on a lithium carbonate equivalent basis of that lithium brine. It's a proof of concept, and this will be developed at the same time within our joint venture with Salta Exploraciones as we complete our feasibility, which will incorporate all of these results into a very high quality fees to be released at the end of Q3 of this year. This is the quick slide here on Arizaro. One of the fundamentals of processing lithium brines is you try to find other brines to mix them with to lower your reagent use. Arizaro, we believe, is going to fit well into that. We'll be able to concentrate Arizaro, mix it with Sal de Los Angeles brine to lower our reagent use and bring our operating cost or expected operating cost down further. We'll be initiating an exploration program on Arizaro in the next month and a half as well. And finally, Clayton Valley. This is the pink blocks are to the north and the south are ours, and we've drilled one hole to the north where we're expecting results. Those should be issued shortly. And we're also looking at alternatives of developing this. It is a lower grade brine, probably in the 100 ppm versus 600, which our Argentine asset is. So we're looking for alternatives, partnering, and hopefully we'll have news out on that soon as well. And lastly, just to sort of give you an idea of the value creation that we hope to achieve, we're right now at the resource stage going through the feasibility in conjunction with building our joint venture facility for 2,500 tons a year of lithium carbonate equivalent. As we go through, we should be going through the feasibility and offtake stage towards the end of this year, and then through construction, production, and eventually do what Eduardo did already once, try to get a commercial production facility, 20 to 25,000 tons per year on Sal de Los Angeles, which was sold for 6.9 or 6.2 billion a few years ago. Thank you very much.